infinite force is not as infinite as they say. It has its limits. Take this with care, Lucian. I know how it feels to lose your body, your bone.
Yeah, I know this is something I don't typically talk about, but
My friends, I'm gonna smash this guy off the map just to make me feel better, and that, my friends, is a long way down. I hope you packed a parachute, pal, because you're in big trouble, and so are you. You can join him down there, mate. You can join him. A 2-for-1 special. You've gotta love it, my friends. You've always dismissed to be absolute our boy. It is this thing right here, the Ross Arago. Now this thing is a void adaptive frame auto rifle. Banshee can sell it. So the other day I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna go and pick a bunch of these up and see what is the best.
Hello everybody, Maven here, and today we're covering one of the most brain dead point click delete builds that I ever created. And we're doing this by using the strongest machine gun in the game, aka the Unwavering Duty from Trials, and giving it a 210% damage buff as well as infinite ammo. And the build literally plays itself. You just point click delete everything, the world is your oyster. If you love machine guns and you suck at Destiny, then this is the build for you, because it's so brain dead and effective. Anybody can do it, and it's almost impossible to screw up. So let's break it down. Hope you enjoy. Shout out to our sponsor, Advanced GG, the #1 gaming supplement in the world. Use code MAVEN at checkout for 10% off. Link down below. Thank you. So first things first, I got a lot of flack in my last video, the God Mode Giga Chad Hunter build, because I did a GM to showcase how ridiculously tanky and unkillable that build was. It's even more unkillable than today's build. But you guys didn't like the fact that I only did a GM at 5 power below. So what we're gonna do for this video is do a GM at 41 power below. Okay, this is literally a 3-person activity that I'm doing solo at -41 power. Like, it doesn't get much tougher than that. So this time, none of y'all can complain. This is the difficulty where things will kill you if you're out in the open for 2 seconds. So I feel like this is the perfect way to showcase off just how brain dead and easy this build is to play. And during this whole run, I did not die a single time. I did not run out of heavy ammo a single time, despite the fact that I was nonstop firing my machine gun for basically the entire run. So if that don't scream infinite ammo, I don't know what does. All right, so let's talk about how we're gonna go about achieving this infinite machine gun ammo. So first off, our Unwavering Duty has a static ammo generation stat of 58. Each copy of the solar ammo generation mod on her chest boosts that up by another 20. So that's 40 extra right there, bringing it up to 98. Double heavy finders on her helmet, another 58. Each copy of the solar ammo generation mod on her chest boosts that up by another 20. So that's 40 extra right there, bringing it up to 98. Double heavy finders on her helmet extend the bounds of our ammo gen beyond 100 since they are multiplicative scalars. On her helmet extend the bounds, 40 extra right there, bringing it up to 98. Double heavy finders on her helmet extend the bounds of our ammo gen beyond 100 since they are multiplicative scalars, with one mod being a 1.25x modifier and 2 mods being a 1.4x, further reducing the kills required to spawn bricks of ammo. And the Actium War Rig is our exotic of choice with this build, steadily reloading our machine gun so we rarely have to reload. During the entire background gameplay, I probably manually reloaded like 2 times total. That's how effective this thing is. Makes your gameplay loop extremely efficient. Now the Actium War Rig does have more effects. It actually received an overhaul on the Edge of Fate, so now it has a stack system, stacks up to 10 times as you get kills with auto rifles and or machine guns. System stacks up to 10. It actually received an overhaul on the Edge of Fate, so now it has a stack system, stacks up to 10 times as you get kills with auto rifles and or machine guns. These stacks slowly decay over time while you don't achieve kills. Each stack boosts your damage by 1.5% and also boosts your ammo regen. Now, I am unsure if this goes beyond having 100 in your ammo stat or if it's additive towards it. I am not sure how it works, and not even the data compendium has data on it. That's it. Mod being a 1.25x modifier and 2 mods being a 1.4x, further reducing the kills required to spawn bricks of ammo. And the Actium War Rig is our exotic of choice with this build, steadily reloading our machine gun so we rarely have to reload. During the entire background gameplay, I probably manually reloaded like 2 times total. That's how effective this thing is. Makes your gameplay loop extremely efficient. Now, the Actium War Rig does have more effects. It actually received an overhaul on the Edge of Fate, so now it has a stack system. Stacks up to 10 times as you get kills with auto rifles and or machine guns. These stacks slowly decay over time while you don't achieve kills. Each stack boosts your damage by 1.5% and also boosts your ammo regen. Now, I am unsure if this goes beyond having 100 in your ammo stat or if it's additive towards it. I am not sure how it works, and not even the data compendium has data on it. But if it turns out to be additive, then you probably won't need the solar ammo gen mods on your chest. But yes, this is another thing boosting our ammo gen. Furthermore, the bricks of heavy that we do spawn will grant us a lot of ammo, not only because we have the solar scavenger mod on our boots, but because I'm also rocking a weapon stat of 193. It should go 200 if possible, but the most I could conjure up is 193, and that gives me a 93% chance that bricks I scavenge will be large. So that basically means they're doubled up. So if you want infinite ammo, definitely get your weapon stat as high as possible because you need those doubled up ammo bricks. So there you have it, everything contributing to our infinite ammo. Like I said, I never once ran out of ammo in the gameplay, and if I did, I simply just rotated my camera around and there were spare bricks lying all over the battlefield. And especially special bricks as well. You can easily have infinite special ammo for your mint retrograde, and your special bricks will be doubled up from your high weapon stat as well. I'm pretty sure I showed a clip scanning over all the special bricks laying all over the battlefield as I completed the second encounter, just so you can see how abundant the ammo is, not only for your heavy but for your special as well, to the point where you can actually easily rock double specials with this build if you wanted to. But instead, I'm rocking the Red Death in my energy slot. And the reason for this, and I'll cut away to a clip in the shooting range here to show you, but if you kill 3 trash mobs with it, you get a restoration ×2 buff for 6 seconds if you have Ember of Solace equipped, which is ample time to proceed to extend that restoration via Ember of Empyrean, which says that when you get solar ability or just solar final blows in general, it extends the duration of your restoration. And if you kill 2 elite enemies, you get restoration ×2. And finally, if you kill any 1 yellow bar, that grants restoration ×2. So 3 trash mobs, 2 elites, and 1 of anything beyond that. It's super quick and easy to get that resto ×2, and that is the greatest healing buff you can have in Destiny 2. It is incredibly strong for survival, and just walking around with infinite resto ×2 is how we're able to stand in the face of all those enemies at -41 power in that Grandmaster. Not only that, but I'm also rocking a full set of lustrous armor from the Solstice event, which says that rapid solar final blows heal you. This is not required, but it's some icing on the cake if you happen to be one of the other 10 people in the world with the full set of Titan Gunner lustrous armor. Anyways, not only does Ember of Empyrean extend your restoration buff, but it also extends your radiant buff, so you can be radiant forever, and that's 20% extra damage right there. And this segues us into talking about our damage, and the reason why I call the Unwavering Duty the strongest machine gun in the game. Now, with this build in specific, this thing is an absolute powerhouse overload Chipotle Chicken Deluxe Supreme for $1.99 in your local drive-thru, and I'll tell you why. We have a million things buffing this thing, starting with that 20% from Radiant. Then our God roll on our machine gun is Rampage and Killing Tally, which are both massive damage perks in separate slots, which both synergize perfectly with our Actium War Rig steadily reloading our machine gun so we can constantly keep those damage perks going. So Rampage is granting us a 33.1% damage buff, and Killing Tally is giving us a 30% damage buff. Then our Actium War Rig perk is granting us 1.5% bonus damage per stack, which caps out at 10 stacks, so that's 15% bonus damage right there. And then my 193 weapon stat is giving me a 9.3% damage buff, but it would be 10% if you had 200. Then we got the Elemental Overdrive artifact mod to give us another 10% buff when we collect fire sprites, which we can easily create those things with like Elemental Coalescence or Ember of Searing plus Radiant Shrapnel. And finally, we got double Solar Surges on our boots for another 17% damage buff. It'd be 22% if you ran triple surges though. And the result of all these buffs equates to a 210% damage buff on a heavy weapon with infinite ammo and mag size that is not exotic, therefore capable of running Temporal Blast. This thing is an absolute powerhouse on this build, and I'm not sure, but I feel like it's hitting harder than my Rewind Bait and Switch Mint Retrograde, and that's saying something because that's the strongest weapon in the game right now. But in the GM run I did, I tried using the Mint Retrograde against the final boss and tried using the Unwavering Duty against the final boss, and it just felt like the Unwavering Duty melted harder with all of those insane damage buffs we were stacking up. Like, it's nothing to scoff at. If you look at this build and you're worried like, oh, it's a machine gun build so we don't have any real DPS, shush your mouth. This thing slaps, trust me. And if you ran out of surges and rampage somehow, then you got your Radiant Bait and Switch Mint Retrograde right there with Temporal Blast, which is literally the meta. So DPS is covered, trust. This build is mega brain dead and easy. It's hardly has a gameplay loop. It just plays itself. Like, the only part that is actually like a gameplay loop is to proc Restoration ×2 with your Red Death, and then literally just point and click and win. It's that easy. But if that's too hard for you, or if you're using your exotic slot for something else, or if you just straight up don't have the Red Death or its Catalyst, then you can literally just run the build with Restoration ×1 from your Healing Grenade, and it should function just fine. Obviously, Restoration ×2 is way better, but you can make do with Restoration ×1 because I doubt that everyone who is considering using this build is planning on using it in -41 power activities like I am. So for whatever reason that you're using it for, Restoration ×1 should suffice, and then your gameplay loop becomes that much easier because you won't have to get Red Death kills, which, you know, Red Death, it's a pulse rifle, not the hardest hitting thing in the world, so I understand it may be a little bit difficult in higher level activities. So anyways, all you have to do is toss a Healing Grenade and then just go on a machine gun rampage. And if you don't have the Unwavering Duty, there's also the Fixed Odds, the Speleologist, the Edgewise, which is grabbable from collections, or you can just wait for the Unwavering Duty to be the focus of trials again. And the #1 complaint I see in my comments whenever I do a build around a gun that comes from PvP is, well, looks like I'm not trying this build because I'm not going to play PvP. And I understand that a lot of you lack the confidence to compete in trials, but the thing is, you don't even really need to compete. The loot in trials is actually insane because Bungie is desperate to get people into the playlist. If you're over level 400, or better yet 450, which I'm guessing most of you are at this point, you basically get like a guaranteed tier 5 piece of loot for every trials game completion, whether you win or lose. And I'm not kidding, but one time I actually lost a game of trials and literally got 5 tier 5s dropped. I'm not even kidding. 5 whole tier 5 pieces of loot just for hopping into a game for a few minutes and losing. I'm telling you, the loot in trials is crazy, no matter if you win or lose, and you don't even have to go flawless. So just play when the Unwavering Duty is the weekly focus weapon. Hop in, get washed a few times, and you'll have a ton of tier 5 machine guns in your inventory. I guarantee it. Anyways, let's quickly skim over the rest of our build before we wrap up this video. So here's our subclass. We got Roaring Flames, Soul Invictus, Solace, Empyrean Torches, and Searing. Aspects don't really do much here since it's a gunplay build, and those are ability-based abilities. Already went over Solace and Empyrean Torches, and our Fever and Chill artifact mod are going to be our methods of becoming Radiant. An Ember of Searing is there to pair with Radiant Shrapnel artifact mod to make fire sprites, although in the background gameplay I was using Ember of Tempering, and I just swapped over to Searing at the last second, but it's your call if you want to run a Tempering like I did in the gameplay. And for our mods, I basically went over everything. The surges and the time dilation with charged up matters. Everything contributing to our ammo gen matters, but what doesn't matter is the rest. Like, since we aren't really reloading or using our abilities, your glove mods are pretty interchangeable and can be whatever you want them to be. I was considering melee fonts for the baby hammers. And like I said before, solar ammo gen might not matter on the chest if the Actium perk grants an additive buff instead of a scalar, but we don't know, and testing that would be a pain. And for your stats with this build, if you're rocking full gunner armor to reach 200 weapons, it's going to be really hard to avoid reaching 100 grenade stat as well, since that is a secondary stat of gunner armor, and investing anywhere else is going to be a little bit difficult. But if for some reason you got some crazy juiced tertiary stat armor drops, then reaching 100 melee instead of grenade would be ideal, so you can spam baby hammers, because as a solar titan that's never a bad thing, and having melee fonts on your gloves could potentially help with that as well. And that pretty much does it for the build. Brain Dead Titan build 2.0. For those who don't know, yes, this is my second time doing this build. We actually did a version of this last month with the Choir of One on Void Titan. It was essentially the same build, just a Void version based around abusing controlled demolition with the destabilizing rounds Choir of One and having infinite ammo with that. That build also slapped immensely, and I highly recommend checking that out if you are a Void enjoyer, and I'll link it up above and down below. I'd say that build definitely shines more in the ad clear department, but this one definitely shines more in straight up raw damage output because of this 210% boosted machine gun. Feels like a cheat code, it just makes everything into a joke. But if you did want to combine the elements of ad clear and damage together, you could run an unwavering duty with incandescent and killing tally, which would work out amazingly as well, and also cause a bunch of solar ignitions, in which case you'd want to run Ember of Char or maybe Ashes instead of Searing. So do that if you so please. But for maximum ammo conservation and damage, you kill stuff in less shots if you got Rampage. So I figured it'd fit better with the theme of infinite ammo, so that's what I opted for. So as always, if you'd like to try out the build, I'll include the dim loadout link to it down below in the description, and also the pinned comment if you want to give it a try. And if you got any buddies who are Titan mains, I'd appreciate if you consider sharing the video with them. Maybe perhaps this is something they would want to try as well. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and drop a comment. Any interaction goes a long way, because D2 YouTube is kind of in shambles at the moment, and also the YouTube algorithm in general. So any interaction is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Would love to have you here for more Edge of Fate content on the way, and I hope you have a nice day.
All right. Let's join up on the squad. ZK's ready to go, dude. He's ready to go. Yo,
What's good, brother?
gamers, what's happening?
You joined before Frost. I'm actually surprised, man. What happened?
It's a new me, ZK. I'm a new me.
You didn't go to the bathroom, bro?
I'm prompt now. I'm a changed man.
I see that. I like the new cross.
Him. Mic check.
Go.
Yo.
Yo, man, you guys are already in orbit together?
We're ready.
Yes.
The squad is prepared.
How you gonna let Cross join before you, though?
I know, right? I'm slacking.
Let's do this shit.
Oh,
Let's go, speedrun!
my favorite map.
The other team will cry.
He's one shot.
It's one top
Fuck
mid.
me. Fuck
Let's
me.
go, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a 4-4.
Lord of mercy, dude.
Be serious, man.
Oh, dude. Oh, good, man.
I was trying to res that thing.
The
Started tagging
fucking
me.
start tagging, yeah.
Only have one.
You're lucky. We matched the same team.
Oh, fuck yes.
Crossed?
I want that rematch
It's
so
time for
bad.
revenge, bro.
I want it, dude. I want it so fucking bad.
Only one.
Love it. Love it.
Wow, I got teamed on the left side.
Good.
Winnable, 2v2.
Bro,
Do not give up. Your ally is back in the fight. Stand alone. Do not give up.
God damn it, dude.
It's all good. Down 0-2.
sitting on a rift.
2
Got
tap
him,
on left.
got him, got him.
Nice.
Oh yeah. You on the right side, yeah. One's in the middle.
He's just trying to proc child right now. I'm playing with
Listen,
a
we got
scout.
the zone. Do you have a shield for that?
Yeah, almost.
One walked out.
Shield,
He's pretty weak
shield
already.
on me, shield on me.
You got a res in the middle.
Opponent revived.
Oh my god.
Nice.
You get that kill or no?
Fucking hell. Yeah, we finally did. Heavy.
Hey.
No, dude. He's pretty weak too. Nice.
You are all that's left.
1v1. You have my revive, Cross. You have my revive.
Oh yeah.
But he might have heavy ammo. We could probably play around that.
He's Drang. Drang scout.
He farmed me.
Teleporting.
Got a push.
Nice. The match where I get revive farmed.
Let's go.
I got two of them just pre-aiming inside. They're like
Yeah. I see.
like they're building.
Here, Frost. Stay alive. I've got a
Two players on
barricade.
the left side. Watch out. They're waiting.
I got one.
Nice.
I got one.
One's Hunter close to me. Close to me.
Titan's weak.
Yeah, I got pushed by the Titan.
Diamond Lance.
Nice. 2v1.
Special minimal. Nice.
Oh, baby.
Good shit, guys. Good shit.
He's one.
One bottom
No tax,
donut.
no
Two
tax.
tapped them. Titan really close to you. Oh my god, dude. You just 1v1. Dude, Ross is going crazy.
Damn it! I went right into the fucking barricade.
Good shit, Cross.
Cross farming.
We're over divided. So I have to, maybe after this round I should have it. I'm smoked pretty
Titan's
bad.
weak.
Nice,
Get
nice.
the Warlock burning. He's one shot, Zeke, one shot.
Yeah.
Enemy is left.
Good stuff, guys. I've got this guy
We have
backed
the
off.
zone, Cross. We have the zone.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude, this fusion is so good.
Tapped him. Holy shit.
This fusion is ridiculous. All right, I've got my super.
Man, what a beautiful image. Ass across with a super. A strand super.
Where we going?
Nice.
We go pop.
Oh fuck, dude. My bad, guys. My
Next
bad.
round.
Back in the fight. One minute.
Okay, here.
Titan's weak. Nice.
Enemy is left.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
GG's, guys.
Victory.
Time to play that same team 6 more times.
Got one. Length?
Pulse fusion, by the way. He's so
One shot.
Let's go. A little laggy.
He's got the mid connection.
I think it's the servers. Too many people trying to play at the same time.
You said too many?
Too many people.
Oh, yeah.
That one. Fuck. There's two left.
Let's go.
The Titan pushes are actually pretty solid on this map.
Yeah.
You were surprised because it's a big map.
I
I
love
think a lot of people are just
ACD.
like long range camping, so they don't expect it.
Yeah. There we go.
That cleanup.
Gaming, brother.
Victory!
Let's go. Let's go.
We got a good streak going on here, guys. Let's not ruin it.
That's side. He's gonna push.
Okay. Go.
Close.
Pushing you.
Go.
He's got me backed up. There's a scout rifle. He's got a scout.
Shotgun Hankin.
He's one shot. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Just in case you haven't like dealt with it, they are just sitting far back with a
I
scout,
left.
Yeah.
waiting for you to challenge. So
I'm weak. I'm super weak. I'm backing off.
watch out, Cross. There's a scout on the cross.
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, I'm dead. I got one though.
I'm watching over you.
He weak on your right. I got him.
He's no shields. He's no shields already.
Zap.
Big. Let's keep the momentum here. This is the big round. Warlock super one shot by the special ammo.
Got him.
I'm helping Cross right now.
Okay, we got one.
He's so weak.
Good stuff, guys. One of these guys is semi pushed up.
On a rift. Close on a rift. Doing mid, Frost on you, on you.
Got one.
I'm zone weak.
I had to back off from this.
1 minute left, my
I'm burning.
One
He's
shot.
no tagged on me.
He's one.
do not give up. Your ally is back in the fight. Opponent revive.
Hold on, I'm
No
getting my
shield
ult
on you,
back.
Cross.
Only one enemy
Got one.
left. 30 seconds left.
GG's. Good shit, Frost.
Victory.
I may have been able to push him, Chad, but I was like, I'm not gonna fucking risk it. This guy could turn on me, and that's the round. When in doubt, revive Frostbolt.
I haven't seen their team move up.
Yeah,
I
they're
got a
playing
lot
back.
of radar pings on my side. I'm backing off.
They're tagged by my melee.
One of them.
Doing left, Frost. Left door.
Yeah, I'm looking
Going
at it.
across now. One's going left. Left side, kill me.
I'm one shot cross.
Got him.
I have him no shields for you if you can challenge eventually. I'm farming ZK again.
Fuck off.
Back in the fight.
Let's go.
Nice.
1 minute left, my friend.
Fucking hell.
Did you get throwing knife?
I got fucking throwing knife. Chad, nothing makes me want to uninstall this fucking game more than getting killed by a goddamn knife.
Out.
Only one enemy is left.
Pretty weak, pretty weak.
Let's go. Yeah, this fusion's nasty, man. Fusion is busted.
I see them backing up a little bit.
1 minute left.
I want.
Only one enemy is left.
Uno más, uno más.
Let's go.
That's my team.
Chad, I actually want to keep some of these health melee and grenade. Fusion is quick. Oh, dude, the fusion's so good, dude. No. Seriously, I think this might be the best PvP fusion in the game. Granted, we have like everything stacked up to range here. He's got an 81 range stat. Plug's got 88 range though. Yeah, but that's a precision versus an adaptive frame here. Yeah, I mean, I like Plug too, but it's impressive that an adaptive frame can get this high. I think it may be the highest range stat in the game.
Go
DK is
for
a
it.
really good team, by the way.
1 minute left.
I'm weak right now.
Two players on my left side waiting. I'm getting flanked right now.
Double buddy.
You are the last. Make them run. Seconds left. Guardian against God. Showdown.
Just be calm here.
Sniping. Do it.
Good. Just be calm here. No need for him to get a free kill.
Good stuff.
Cross is
You're an
goaded.
animal,
Let's go,
dude.
baby. Let's go.
Holy shit, bro. You got saliva like dripping down your mouth right now? Bro was in the zone.
He leaned forward for sure with that play.
Okay.
One's right side, pushing middle.
Beautiful first round pick.
Look at right side.
Almost.
That
One
player
of those
donut
guys-
is really weak. He's dead.
Nice.
They're like in their little like castle area.
Nice from left.
Oh,
I
that's
did
not
trade
good.
it. He got me. He's one shot though.
One's in your back.
Soft rolls. Good try, man. My bad on that.
Bad. Two on the left.
They're burning. They're burning.
1 minute left, my friend.
I got one shot. No, he backed off. Look, I'm getting a barricade on this.
Got one invis ratting on the right side.
God damn it, dude. That fucking smoke.
No. Oh, nice.
Oh, good stuff. Good fucking shit. I'm so glad you stayed on.
We have to find a way to take this round so we can secure this win. We can't afford tied rounds right now.
Sniper up. Got one.
Mid donut. No shields, mid donuts.
Got one.
Nice.
Perfect.
Nice.
This map plays so weird.
Yeah, there's just so many. You can go from being
So many
like,
angles.
yeah, so many angles. You can just be instantly exposed.
Just
One's going
close it out
left.
here, okay?
This guy's gonna go on the right. He's swinging right. No, maybe not.
Just like that.
He's dead.
Good
He's dead.
stuff.
He's dead.
Good stuff.
Flying down blade. Don't throw. Don't.
That.
Don't drop your guard.
Yeah. He's a sniper.
He's far right side, like where I'm looking at, onto my right, on the edge.
He's trying to get it big. He's trying to get it big.
There's a trip mine. Got rid of it.
I'm dropping
Sniper
barricade in
stuff?
here.
Yeah, we can cap.
I'm getting
Do it.
capped.
Do it. Do it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. You got him weak.
He's one shot by the way on you guys.
Let's go. Good stuff, guys.
Go.
Beautifully done. And there's low population numbers right now, and it is sweaty, man. Sweaty. I'm gonna play my one card to get the fuck out of here, man. I'm just chilling in the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna play for some green. They're gonna play like this.
Only one enemy is left.
Good stuff.
Only one enemy is
Good
left.
stuff.
1 minute left.
Loading.
How do y'all feel about trials right now? Like, how they changed the reward structure? Are y'all liking it more? Because I know y'all play a lot more trials than I do.
So
I
lose
think-
not interesting.
It sounds like a good thing that people can just play, win or lose, get loot, and like feels like it's very accessible to get like tier 5s and all the trials guns and whatnot. But I feel like there's a consequence, you know. And I'm not saying I really agree with it, but there's a consequence where I feel like people just don't really care anymore because it's just so like given to you. It almost feels like the mode is desperate to try to convince you to play that it's just not really attractive.
Yeah.
Charles is more like quick play than a tournament now. Just stale.
Yeah.
If this
Me
was a
and you
quick play
would
mode,
ban.
like I wouldn't mind it, like, because you just play for fun, you just mess around. But I do miss the original like stakes of Trials of Osiris.
Right.
1 minute left, my friend.
No, I agree with that.
There's no replacement for that in this game. It's not like this version of Trials, like remove Trials name and like, is it a bad mode? Like, I don't think people would say it's horrible. Like, it's fun to just keep messing around and play, win or lose. But it did not fill the void that the OG Trials left. Where the streaks matter and you get rewarded, you know, if you do get that flawless and you pop off with the 7 streak.
Yeah. I feel like the loot identity in the game has changed so much. It's even like in the PvE side of thing, like we used to have Grandmaster Nightfalls each week, which is like something to do. And
I missed that too. That was
Yeah.
pretty
I
fun.
don't know why they removed that.
please, buddy, don't listen to this, because if you again listen to streamers, Trials died fully too. Motherfucker, Trials is not exactly thriving. What are you talking about? Have you seen player population, Ferris? Better be listening to somebody. Somebody better come up with some good ideas, because this ain't it. You think Trials is in a good state right now? Fuck me. You fuckers are down there with Gambit players, and they haven't seen content in 8 years.
Time to be showered in the loot and the tier 5s. And Aisha's Embrace is the focus weapon, so
I know so many we were dropping today. Well, that's good. We still got tier 5s. I got fucked on.
oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
right,
GG's,
GG's, brother.
Good luck to
That was
y'all this
fun.
week, and it was, man, that was an incredible card. We had some
You were going
fantastic
crazy.
games.
Yeah, you were going crazy. It was cool.
I was enjoying it, guys. So thank y'all so much for the runs, and good luck to y'all
Take
this weekend.
care.
Okay,
See ya, bro.
Take care, bro. GG's.
chat, please go show some love to Frostbolt and TK. They do this week in and week out. They take people to the promised land, like myself. It's the comfiest backpack you'll ever be in.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.
Here in the middle of the Egyptian desert, something strange is happening. These giant green circles have been popping up all over the place. And it looks like a massive river is forming, cutting right through the desert, with dozens of smaller canals running alongside it and more still under construction. There are even tracks in the sand that look like underground pipes. Is Egypt trying to flood the desert? New roads are appearing, along with huge buildings. And then we see this. military installations, not just one, but several. So we decide to check it out ourselves, fly in and have someone show us everything, on site. But no one is willing to talk. Some people seem afraid for their own safety. What's going on here? The green circles led us to massive construction projects, carved out of the sand at record speed, to wild plans to flood the desert, to a repressive regime and a country struggling through years of economic crisis, and to a multi-billion-dollar project meant to feed the population while secretly pursuing entirely different goals.
If you look at satellite pictures of the country, you can see this change.
What we do know is that it's a military project.
It's quite fascinating to see the colour of a country change.
Their census itself shows you that it's not working.
It's off budget, it's a black box.
Interesting.
Our research starts on Google Maps. We find the green circles all over Egypt, including here in the middle of the desert. They don't look that big at first, but when you zoom in, you realize these circles must be hundreds of meters wide. A little to the left, you can already see the outlines of the next circles etched into the sand. We head to the NASA website and pull up some before and after satellite images.
How the fuck you
Most
plant
of these
shit in the
circles seem
sand?
to have appeared within the last 10 years. The description below the images mentions the name for this area, the New Delta. The New Delta is a massive agricultural project run by the Egyptian government. It's meant to achieve several official goals: boost farming, reduce Egypt's dependency on food imports, create jobs, and improve the country's overall food supply. To do that, the project wants to transform almost 10,000 square kilometers of barren wasteland into fertile farmland. Traditionally, farming in Egypt has mostly happened here, along the narrow strip of the Nile and up here in the Nile Delta, right on the Mediterranean coast. Since nearly the entire country is desert, only around 4% of its land can actually be used for agriculture. That's a tiny percentage compared to the other countries. Egypt is home to 116 million people, more than any other country in the Arab world. By 2050, it's expected to reach 175 million. The vast majority lives on this tiny sliver of land. It's one of the most densely populated regions on the planet. Here, people, farms, and factories are all competing for the scarce land near the water. Housing demand keeps rising, forcing farmland to be converted into residential areas. The New Delta could change that in one stroke. According to a state-run newspaper, Egypt could expand its arable land by nearly a quarter. And the country could certainly use it.
Okay, so how's that bad then? I don't get it.
Food security in Egypt has been tight for years. 8.5% of the population are undernourished, according to the Global Hunger Index. 1 in 5 children suffer from stunted growth due to malnutrition. Many staple foods, especially wheat, have to be imported. In 2021, about 80% of Egypt's wheat imports came from just 2 countries, Russia and Ukraine. At the time, that heavy dependence was already a problem for the Egyptian government. A year later, Russia invaded. Wheat shipments grinded to a halt, and the country's already fragile food situation spiraled even further. Egypt hopes to fix this by massively boosting its own agriculture, especially in the New Delta. We want to know how the project is doing, but our online research quickly hits a dead end. So we decide to fly there ourselves and see the sudden gritting of the
I have a
desert.
question, chat. Guys,
We start
you know other countries, like other countries will like go there and have these little zones where they could fucking have people like produce their shit or whatever, right? Why can't you cannot like rent people's land in other countries so you could farm your own shit and bring it back home? Can you not do that?
making plans. But soon we realize it's not going to be that simple. The moment people hear we want to shoot, they start backing out one by one. They say it's too risky. One expert admits he's worried about his personal safety. We try everything, but no one will talk to us. We end up reaching out to a good friend in Egypt to see if he can help.
Indeed, it's a bit tricky to discuss critically in Egypt, especially if it's something government funded, of course.
That could explain why nobody wants to speak on the record. The New Delta project isn't run by some random company or even a government department. it's being pushed by the military.
So the government.
In early 2011, hundreds of thousands of people take to the streets in Cairo, demanding the end of the regime. They're protesting corruption, violence, and the country's ongoing economic crisis. For 18 days, protesters and police face off. In the end,
Guys, the government is not the military. I don't get it.
autocratic president Hosni Mubarak resigns after nearly 30 years in power. Millions of Egyptians celebrate the fall of the dictatorship. Hope is in the air. The country holds its first democratic elections in 2012. The majority votes for Mohamed Morsi, an opponent of the old regime and candidate for the Muslim Brotherhood. But things barely improve under his leadership. Just 1 year later, mass protests erupt again until Morsi is overthrown by the military. What follows is a massacre. According to Human Rights Watch, soldiers kill over 1,000 demonstrators during the brutal crackdown on pro-Morsi protest camps. The man behind the coup is General Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. He officially runs for office in 2014, facing off against a token opponent. He ends up winning by a landslide, securing around 97% of the votes.
What?
Independent observers suspect the election might have been rigged.
Wait, what?
The new president promised
97? Guys, am I wrong thinking that?
Observers.
Chat, I feel like if it was like, let's say, you know, like back in the days, like the troll dude, like these nuts or whatever. I think if you were to put these nuts against anybody, against like best candidate of all time in any country, it would still get more than 3%. That's crazy. 97, it sounds crazy.
Suspect the election might have been rigged. The new president promises stability, security, and economic growth. But that quiet hope is quickly shattered. El-Sisi drastically reshapes the country, steering it back into dictatorship. Human rights take a steep dive.
Who knows?
Peaceful protests are treated as terrorism. The press is silenced. Government critics and journalists are persecuted, arrested, and even tortured. Thousands are still behind bars today, and many have simply vanished without a trace. Speaking out against the regime means putting your life on the line.
Interesting.
The same regime also has its hands on the new Delta, just like on virtually every public construction project. If we want to talk to experts about the project, we have to look outside the country. And that's exactly what we do.
When it comes to projects like this, there's really no transparency.
That's Edmund Bauer. We met him in Dubai. He works as a journalist for AGB Insight. He frequently writes for The Guardian, where he published this article on El-Sisi's desert project.
That there's very little concrete information coming out of.
I think when you talk about the whole world, let's be honest, things are non-transparent or pseudo-transparent or whatever, right? And even then, it's like a luxury that like the Western world has some level of pseudo-transparency or whatever, and it's still pretty opaque compared to like everybody else. It's like a standard that's like not really applicable to like a lot of these other countries, no? Like, I don't know. I don't.
Any of the Egyptian sources about these projects, other than that they're great projects and that they're covering a lot of land, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That's David Sims. He's an urban planner, economist, and the author of this book, which also dives into Egypt's desert projects. They say that the new Delta isn't the first mega project of its kind.
You could say it probably has to do with a certain imagery of pioneer spirit. We can conquer the desert. This has been around for a long time.
Over the past 100 years, there have been multiple proposals and concrete plans to flood the desert. During massive undertakings like Egypt's new Delta project, teams have to stay perfectly aligned to make progress.
I mean, why not?
But in meetings, ideas can fly by too fast to capture, miss a few key points, and suddenly decisions get delayed. Actions slip through, and the whole team pays the price. That's where Plod comes in option. Click the link in the description for 20% off.
I think I bought too many of these. I bought like 300.
This is the Qattara Depression, a natural lowland right in the middle of the desert. Parts of it lie as much as 133 meters below sea level.
Oh, that's pretty good.
At the start of the 20th century, people come up with the idea of flooding the depression to create a massive lake, roughly the size of Lake Ontario, not for farming, but for power generation. In 1926, a British geologist lays out a detailed plan. He proposes digging tunnels from the Mediterranean so seawater can flow into the depression. The desert heat would then evaporate the water at the same rate that new water flows in, creating a continuous cycle. Turbines installed in the tunnels would then harness that flow to constantly generate electricity. But the costs are too high and the project is stopped. According to Sims, the CIA takes a brief interest in the idea in the 1950s. Then, in the 1970s, a German hydraulic engineer revisits the plans. He proposes detonating 213 nuclear bombs to blow up the entire stretch between the depression and the sea. No tunnels needed. The seawater would simply flow into the depression through a natural river. Most recently, in 2023, an Egyptian consulting firm was hired to conduct a feasibility study. But the Qatar project remains a pipe dream to this day.
That's not too bad, right?
The costs are astronomical. No one knows if it's really doable, and there's a serious risk of salting the groundwater in the process. And those are just a few of the many concerns. In the 1960s, then President Gamal Abdel Nasser lays the groundwork for the Tushka project, a plan to reclaim a huge stretch of desert in the south for farming, industry, and housing. The project is later revived and expanded under President Mubarak in the 1990s. The idea is to tap man-made Lake Nasser and pump water into new canals to irrigate farmland.
Tushka is in the way in the south. For years was touted as reclaiming 500,000 or 1 million acres of land, and it's going to have an enormous population.
Tushka was pitched as the solution to Egypt's demographic and economic problems.
And that was in around the year 2000, 2004. And then it finally appeared that almost none of it was ever done.
Recent satellite images do show some scattered fields, but the promised megacities are nowhere to be seen. And yet, even today, the government keeps clinging to the plans.
It shows, if nothing else, how difficult these projects are and how big the potential is for waste, not just of money.
Then there's the Sinai project, announced in the late 90s. Once again, huge desert areas were supposed to be reclaimed for agriculture and irrigated by a new canal.
It was called the El Salam Canal.
Part of the canal was actually built and put to use, but most of the project never materialized.
What?
There were countless potential problems, from soil salinization and water pollution to coastal areas being eroded by the sea.
So it looks like every one of Egypt's rulers has to have these mega projects to anchor his success and popularity.
But save for a few exceptions, most of these projects fail. The New Delta project is another attempt to revitalize the city, open up land for crops and communities, and make the country more independent. Will it work this time?
I mean, they're trying, though.
To grow anything
I don't
here,
see the
you
problem with
obviously need water. Lots of it. The project draws from multiple sources: groundwater, polluted water from this lake near Alexandria, and most importantly, the country's lifeline, the Nile. The plans include several canals.
One of the few sources of information is Google Earth. Thank God for Google Earth, because it shows the reality, at least you can see.
The first canal runs here. It channels Nile water from the so-called Rosetta Branch and stretches about 42 kilometers to the eastern limits of the New Delta. You can see several smaller canals shaking across the sand. Some are still under construction and supposed to carry the water deeper into the desert. The second large canal is even more impressive and about 114 kilometers long. It carries a supposed 3.5 billion cubic meters of water each year, starting at another canal up here and cutting straight across the desert. The water moves both above and below ground, from station to station.
That's pretty
But
cool.
it doesn't just flow downhill on its own. In some places, it has to be pumped over 100 meters up.
What?
They're taking it off the Nile at an altitude of 16 meters, and they have to pump that up to 120 or 130 meters.
That
Pumping
sounds
stations like
laborious.
this one
It's a lot
push the
of-
water through the waterways, guiding it here to the beating heart of the New Delta, Al Hammam, the largest wastewater treatment plant in the world.
Chat, if the downslope is bigger than the upslope, can't they use the downwards trend to generate power so that they could use the power to the upwards trend?
Built in just 2 years, it was completed by June 2023 and sprawls across 320,000 square meters. At the front, 15 massive basins sit side by side. They take in polluted industrial and agricultural wastewater and send it to these 3 treatment plants. The plant can purify up to 7.5 million cubic meters of wastewater per day. That's enough to cover the daily water needs of 24 million people in the US. But the New Delta taps another water source besides rivers and lakes. Far below the desert lies the world's largest fossil groundwater reservoir. the Nubian Sandstone Aquifer System. It stretches beneath 4 countries and is estimated to hold between 150,000 and 370,000 cubic kilometers of water. That's more water than the Nile would discharge over the course of 500 years. The water has been trapped here for thousands of years, locked between layers of rock. Now it's pumped up to the surface for the New Delta project.
Sounds fair enough.
But even this groundwater comes with a catch.
When we talk about the aquifer, it's tempting to think of it as a big tank of water sitting under the country. You can put a straw.
Dude, is that a fucking... Yo, what kind of tattoo is that, chat? Is that fucking Squid Games or is that PlayStation? What the fuck?
In it and water comes out. That's not what this is.
No one knows just how much of the water down there can actually be used. And Bauer says that the deeper you go, the saltier the water gets. So there's a real risk that the water pumped up from the aquifer could eventually be too salty to use. And while the reservoir may be huge, it's still finite.
It's not sustainable. You're dealing with water which probably isn't replenished.
The water...
I mean, dude, this is a lot of probablys and whatever. Dude, we know for a fact you cannot replenish oil, and we're pumping that shit the fucking out the wazoo like there's no tomorrow. But these guys in the desert, they got nothing. They got fucking salty water, trying to fucking pump the water. Oh, this could be finite. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. What are these standards we're applying to these countries, man? Come on, bro.
From all these sources
I
flow
don't
through
get it.
underground pipelines, out to the cultivation areas. And that's where they appear. The green circles.
I don't see the problem. I don't see the problem.
Their shape comes from center pivot irrigation systems. Water sprinklers sweep across the fields like the hands of a clock. You'll find these systems all over the world, in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and even the US. Thanks to them, people can grow corn, peanuts, potatoes, and even wheat right in the middle of the desert. Wheat in particular uses a huge amount of water.
It's better than just flood irrigation, but it's not very efficient water-wise. In other words, you're going to need a lot of water.
The soil has to play along too. Sure, you can grow wheat on dry land, but the desert soil in the New Delta is far less fertile than the rich riverbanks along the Nile.
These land reclamation projects in the desert usually only have one crop.
Aren't they gonna have maybe some problems with the mineral? Like if it's, I mean, does wheat not become after a lot of
crop a year?
It's
too hot, so they only get one crop a year. Whereas in the old land, you get 2
start to
and 3
lose
crops
their
a year.
To boost
minerals?
yields, farmers use special fertilizers and pesticides. They can
So
be
they need to
mixed
rotate.
directly into the irrigation water. The Egyptian government claims it's sustainably developing these areas for agriculture, but Edmund Bauer disagrees.
If you look at pictures from above, what you'll see circles of green, which are surrounded by land which is quite clearly still desert. And in fact, under the topsoil in which crops are being grown, it is still desert. And in fact, if you take away the central pivot systems that are irrigating these circles, it will go back to being desert. Nothing has changed.
You can already guess
Okay,
from
so-
satellite images where new fields are planned. It gives you a sense of just how massive the new delta is planned to be.
I don't get
The
it.
project is overseen by a government agency that reports directly to the Egyptian Air Force. As for how much it really costs is anyone's guess.
It's a black box. We don't know how much money has gone into it, and we don't know how much money is coming out, and we don't know where that money is necessarily going.
Running agriculture in the middle of the desert doesn't come cheap. You need processing plants, warehouses, a network of roads and cold storage units, grain silos, and artificial rivers. According to The Guardian, the longest canal alone costs around $5 billion. The water treatment plant wasn't exactly a bargain either. Then there's the cost of pumping up the groundwater.
Yeah, that's pretty
And
cheap.
in some places, the water from the Nile has to be lifted over 100 meters.
So this is going to be very expensive. As a matter of fact, some of the earlier studies of Egypt's agricultural potential in the
Yo, $5 billion for a fucking massive, huge canal? This is like fucking nothing. Are you kidding me? Dude, $5 billion. That's how much the fucking. It's how much the fucking U.S. government spent on fucking napkin for the fucking White House last month. Like, what the fuck?
desert sort of came to the conclusion that if you have to lift the water more than 30 meters, it's uneconomic. You cannot grow things with a value that will cover the cost of the energy needed to lift it.
In 2021, the New Delta project was presented with a budget of roughly $10.2 billion. But by May 2025, inauguration of the wheat harvest season, President El-Sisi said that the infrastructure alone would cost somewhere between $9 and $13 billion.
In terms of the finances of New Delta, we really have to go on the bits and pieces that get released to us in speeches, in press statements. We have to sort of take them at face value because there isn't clear records being produced.
The New Delta project was pitched as Egypt's answer to its food insecurity. But what has it actually changed so far?
Now, in one sense, this has been so far a successful project in the fact that you can see crops coming out of it.
But much of the harvest never ends up on Egyptians' plates. It's exported.
By all accounts, money has been made off of this project, and you can see that, if nothing else, the export figures, the agricultural export figures.
According to the government, Egypt now exports more than 400 different agricultural products to over 160 countries. In 2023 alone, a record 7.5 million tons of produce left the country, bringing $8.8 million in revenue.
Yo, this shit is a no-brainer. Are you telling me that a 13, even if it was worst scenario, oh my god, they lied, it's 13 billion. It's 1.75 of a year, and this shit's profitable. This shit's insane. What the fuck?
Top sellers are fruits, vegetables,
This shit's
and nuts.
busted.
Egypt is increasingly focusing on high-value export crops, and the New Delta plays a central role in that strategy.
The focus seems to be, and Sisi has more or less said this himself, why would we grow wheat?
If I can read them, it's million? No, it's in B. It's in billions. It's in B. 10 billion to make 8 billion. And the year after, you're operating on nearly pure profit forever. Dude, you know that a lot of shit that people do, coaches do, will pay out in like fucking 40, 50 years, right? What? Oh, revenue, so not net. Oh yeah, the margins are pretty thin probably. Yeah. This will pay out in fucking 20 years then, fuck it.
In records for different agricultural products to over 160 countries. In 2023 alone, a record 7.5 million tons of produce left the country.
Guys, it's a million tons of produce. It's not me. No, Chad didn't listen. You guys said I didn't listen. You didn't listen. It's millions of produce, man.
Bring $8.8 million in revenue.
On God.
Top sellers are fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Egypt is increasingly focusing on high-value export crops, and the New Delta plays a central role in that strategy.
I missed it again? Oh, what the fuck?
Left the country, bringing $8.8 million in revenue.
Oh, that's fucking dog shit. What? In the rev? Net? That's... What? No, none of this makes sense. I don't get it anymore. Guys, he meant billions. Guys, he meant billions. There's no way... Guys, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. Yeah, he misspoke. He has to be. Yo, how do you export 7 bill in revenue and only net 8 mil? That would be the thinnest margins in the history of trade. That would be like a 0.001% profit. That's crazy, brother man.
Top sellers are fruits, vegetables,
yeah,
and
it's in billions. It's literally in billions. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care.
Egypt is increasingly focusing on high-value export crops, and the New Delta plays a central role in that strategy.
The focus seems to be, and Sisi has more or less said this himself, why would we grow wheat, for example, which we're not going to be competitive in, which you need a lot of water and you need a lot of land, whereas we can grow other crops, citrus crops, for example.
Look on the video. At 1949, hey Fern, just quick clarification. At 1948, you say 7.8, no 8 point, we said what? I forgot. Top comment? What? 8.8 million. But with the graphs and video context, it I feel like it doesn't make sense. Did you mean billion? Otherwise, apologies. My listening comprehension is not my forte. Am I zero head?
We can export them for much more money, and then we can use that money to import wheat.
That's what most countries that are in this kind of situation would do. So you export high value, and then you import the wheat, which is what they've always done.
Egypt wants to position itself as a major exporting nation and a key player in Africa. It also aims to build a global hub for the supply and storage of grains to become more resilient to future food crises. But the revenue coming from these multi-billion-dollar projects don't seem to reach ordinary Egyptians. Their lives barely improved at all. 2/3 of the population live at or below the poverty line. Food security remains fragile too. Egypt's state coffers are empty. The currency has taken a massive hit in recent years, and the country is drowning in debt. Bauer says most of the money from New Delta.
He replied? Guys, stop it, man.
In the middle of the Egyptian.
I can't see the replies. They're not loaded in yet. You're stupid. Man,
Food
shut
security
up.
remains fragile too.
Man, fuck
Egypt's
you,
state
man.
coffers are empty. The currency has taken a massive hit in recent years, and the country is drowning in debt.
You misspoke.
Bauer says most of the money from New Delta ends up flowing back into the state.
And one thing that they've consistently invested in is weapons. Egypt has got a war on its southern border. There's a civil war in Sudan. There is a war in Gaza on its eastern border. There has been violence to the west. So you can make a good case for buying weapons and investing in defense.
The New Delta project devours massive resources. It's not really sustainable, extremely expensive, and nowhere near delivering the promised food security.
If you're looking at
Yo, how is this not sustainable? If they put in fucking 13 bill at most, and they're making, and
today
it'll profit in 2 years, and then be operating the pure profits. How is that sustainable? Shit's fucking bussin'. Yeah, they mean sustainable in terms of like the water theory, that it's gonna take the water out and it's not sustainable for in fucking 300 years. But come on, bro, that is such a that has to be a long reach. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Producing food to feed the country, it will be difficult to do based on using these projects. It's a difficult place to grow wheat. It's a difficult place to grow rice. So there's a very strong case to be made that Egypt will be reliant on food imports for the long run, and can start looking at other ways to secure those routes and to secure that supply chain.
Maybe the real value of these mega projects is not about food at all. They generate headlines and distract from the country's real problems. The regime of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi gets to present itself as a capable and proactive.
Because you can make an announcement, you can give an artist rendition of what this project will look like. You can very quickly claim credit for something, and then hopefully you'll be able to follow through and build it, and you have this large thing that you can unveil. On the surface, it looks like a great answer to lots of intractable problems to do with the growing population and poverty that would be difficult to address in other ways. It's clear why it would be more tempting to go down the route of unveiling new large-scale projects rather than something which would be more of a systemic approach to a problem, and more building institutions.
Earlier this year, the government just unveiled its latest mega project, Jirian City.
Disturbing things from the internet, volume 15. Jesus. I'll give it a shot. Why not? I'll give it a shot. Why not?
Scroll to the user bar and click on the weather. Sign up for your severe forecast alert.
And whenever dangerous weather is about to strike, you'll get a warning on your pager. cable premieres go south
I'll
of the
turn
border
I'll
to
turn
the
it back on
location
after
of
though.
the HBO movie Double Cross.
Shadyside, Ohio, devastated by a flash flood. Death, injuries, many missing.
We have two tales of terror and death to tell you tonight from two different parts of the world.
Authorities in Stockton are on the lookout for an arsonist who set 3 separate fires this morning.
Inside, small pine boxes containing 45-inch steel caskets to be placed in cement crypts.
What? With the subtitles? I got you. Sorry, we're there. Oh, C does
the
that?
World Wide Web. A void unquantifiable. An endless frontier full of wonder, discovery, and mystery. From 3D games engrossed in urban legends to some of the most disturbing archival insights into the human mind, the internet has it all. You just have to venture out a bit to find its dark side.
Yeah.
In the early days of YouTube, a channel entered the digital space. It was titled MOSB46PGH, and it served as a hub for home videos uploaded by a man named George Sadini.
Monkus.
He hasn't uploaded in a while, but we'll get to why later. What we need to know now is that this man lived a seemingly simple life, sharing videos of him talking to the camera and giving his viewers an inside look into his home. It is, by every measure, a product of early YouTube, a reminder of an era in which content was much simpler and innocuous than it is today. While at a
You can
cursory
get
glance,
tons of kills very quickly.
simple life, sharing videos of him talking to the camera and giving his viewers an inside look into his home. It is, by every measure, a product of early YouTube, a reminder of an era in which content was much simpler and innocuous than it is today. While at a cursory glance, nothing about George's content seems all that strange. It's when we really begin to dissect what exactly it is that he says and alludes to, where things become a bit weird. Take a look.
Is an 07 Altima.
Classic. That's the classic car right there.
I paid $79,000 for this in 1996. That's considered a lot, believe it or not. Okay, we're approaching the door.
Yeah, you mean for the house.
Open it up. Oh, someone left it unlocked. That's not good. Inside, okay. Here's my big screen TV. 32-inch. It's my computer. Let me pan out a little bit.
First off, you may be noticing a pattern here. George continuously makes passing references to the allure of his personal items. He states his vehicle's price. He shows us his 32-inch big screen TV, and it's become clear that this video is meant to boast. But why?
Computer is connected to the
Because he's gonna burn it down and try to get an insurance claim.
MP3s and everything else. Pan to the other side. Speakers on each side are large. They double as end tables. Okay, couch and chair, they match. The woman will really be impressed. Okay, come over here. There's some reading material that we're all familiar with.
Come on, don't spoil it, Chad. I just took a
Come
guess. I
out
didn't
here
do
to
much.
the dining room. I just bought this. Dining room set.
Sadini pans down to his table after making a remark about women being impressed, to which we can see a stack of documents and two curious
Date young woman. Office politics.
novels. How to Date Young Women for Men Over 35 and Body Language Secrets. Interesting. As we continue to scan through his videos, it becomes abundantly clear that George carries an undying fixation towards women. He's a man who hasn't been with a partner in God knows.
I feel like the existence of these books and people that read them is a problem. I think people will read it because they have problems with women or whatever, right? But that's like reading about how to beat a boss in a game or how to do whatever before even trying the game, before even playing the game. It's like it's like lame. It's like you're missing out on life.
Knows how long, and he seems to be persistently trying and failing at dating women much younger than he. It's clear that he's faced rejection multiple times before, evident by his books and lack of awareness that monetary wealth doesn't necessarily equate to attractiveness. In essence, these videos show that he's painfully out of touch, and while he would only ever upload just 2 videos to his channel during its short tenure, he would later crop up in other areas across the net. Videos to his channel during its short tenure, he would later crop up in other areas across the net.
This is what you mean by that.
Throughout the years, George would carve out his own little corner of the internet. He would host a website called GeorgeSodini.com, and at first glance, it's most of what you'd expect from an early 2000s website. It carries a simple layout, his name and location, various photos from his life. It was a humble virtual abode that resembled the countless other personal websites out there, and for a while, there was never anything suspect about it. Curiously though, sometime in 2008, a new webpage would silently crop up. And it's a simple link titled Life or Death. My birth and death dates. Take a guess.
XQCL.
That's just weird. That's just weird.
For any unsuspecting user online, this might come off as some sort of random guessing game.
Hold on, low pause.
Admittedly,
Yeah, this is very weird. But okay, I guess at the time, Chad, with how the websites were, okay, there was a lot of really wonky shit on websites. Like the sites when you're building them had these little features, the little widgets you could add or whatever, right?
This guy is almost as bald as you
a
are.
bunch of sites had these little weird prompts. It's very, very common.
the internet had seen much weirder shit by this point in time. However, I wanted to bring up this page specifically because the date of death question here actually contains a correct answer. You see, George Sodini isn't exactly a good person. And what lies behind this otherwise simple question is a glance into the mind of a man deeply disturbed. George, by this point, was planning something, and not a single person who knew him had any idea about it.
Classic Nexpo intro music.
On the night of August 4th, 2009, George had made his way to the LA Fitness in Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. Earlier that day, he had visited twice to look around. Yet this time, he had something with him. He entered the gym with a duffel bag at 7:56 p.m. and after checking in, he made his way to the gym studio that was in the midst of kicking off their nightly aerobics class. Thereafter, he walked in, cut the lights, grabbed two 9mm pistols, and fired 36 shots into the crowd.
It's like some ultra woman hater or something, or what?
The scene was a complete nightmare. Screams echoed throughout the air. Victims began to flee in a frenzy. Nobody ever expects this. Amidst the chaos, Sodini grabs a .45 caliber revolver from his bag, and during the next few seconds, he holds it to his head and takes his own life.
Classic. Classic bitch made Andy.
Police left the scene here at the LA Fitness in Collier Township, just outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the early morning hours today. They have been investigating a shooting that took place shortly after 8 o'clock on Tuesday. They say a man walked into an aerobics classroom where more than 20 people were taking a class and opened fire.
That night, 3 women had died and 9 others were injured in what can only be described as one of the most disturbing and heartless acts of violence that I have ever read about. Young adults, mothers, and fathers were all there just to get a workout, to make themselves happier and more physically fit. Yet it was all shattered by an intensely depraved man. Just to get a workout, to make themselves happier and more physically fit. Yet it was all as one of the most disturbing and heartless acts of violence that I have ever read about. Young adults, mothers, and fathers were all there just to get a workout, to make themselves happier and more physically fit. Yet it was all shattered by an intensely depraved man. Like we touched on, all of this was premeditated long before it happened, and the date of the tragedy, August 4th of 2009, would, as you'd expect, unlock an entirely new and secret layer of Sodini's website. Why do this to young girls? Just read below. Moving into Christmas again. No girlfriend since 1984. Last Christmas with Pam was in 1983. Who knows why? I'm not too ugly or too weird. No sex since July of 1990 either. Over 18 years ago. For months, George objectified and chronicled his struggles with women. He expressed a growing frustration with how he couldn't get them to like him. He documents his pent-up rage and hatred towards those that could find love. And he even mulls over his so-called exit plan.
Yeah, but what about managing expectations though, and then maybe lowering expectations? Yo, some ugly, big fat zos get bitches all the time, sometimes way more attractive than they are. Little buddy was trying aiming way too high. Yeah, come on, bro.
A year. I took off today, Monday, and tomorrow to practice my routine and make sure it's well polished. I need to work out every detail. There's only one shot. Also, I need to be completely...
Chat, what about a different alternative? Yeah, exactly. What if he went to that gym and instead worked out a couple times? I mean, hold on, I'm just spitballing here.
Before I can be successful. I haven't had a drink since Friday at about 2:30. Total effort needed. Tomorrow is the big day. I talked to my neighbor today, who's very positive and upbeat. I need to remain focused and absorbed completely. Last time I tried this in January, I chickened out. Let's see how this approach works.
When you talk to their families and their friends, you can see their sadness, feel their grief, and that inability to understand why this happened. But each also felt as if their loved ones deserved not to be remembered for the way they died, but for how they lived.
On that fateful night, the lives of Heidi Overmeyer, Elizabeth Gannon, and Jody Billingsley were needlessly ripped from them, forever shattering their families' lives in one of the worst acts imaginable. It's horrifying to think that something as simple as a workout can turn into a situation so deadly, and I cannot even fathom the panic that unfolded thereafter. George Sodini was a man who carried unbridled hatred and jealousy, and looking into his website and YouTube channel gives us an eerie glance into his life. I truly hope that today...
He looks like a normal, average guy for his age though, no? Like
the victims' families are holding
he's
up
just
okay,
probably weird, like...
although I cannot even imagine the void that's been left in all of their hearts. Never again will this monster walk the earth, though, and I hope that at the very least, grants them a sliver of solace.
captions are bad. You want me to remove them?
Alright guys, before we continue, I'd like to talk about tonight's video sponsor, InCopy.
No. Yo, the voice guy is on my screen. It's crazy. Voice guy is on.
InCopy.
No. Yo, the voice guy is on my screen. It's crazy.
Devastating earthquakes can and do happen all over the world, but here in the United States, we can greatly reduce fatalities by being prepared, and that can start with understanding earthquakes themselves.
Everybody loves a good time. Whether you're young or old, the excitement of enjoying yourself
is a special part of life.
Earthquakes are scary. They just feel it's like the most hopeless, like, or a helpless feeling you can have. Like,
the Oakland A's are visiting the San Francisco Giants for Game 3 of the World Series, and the crowd is, understandably, fired up. At the helm of the ABC Sports broadcast that day are sports commentators Al Michaels and Tim McCarver.
Moneyball.
And the pair opened the day by going through stats and predictions for the upcoming game. For the entire opening sequence, everything seemed to be business as usual.
Billy Bean.
That is, until they're met with an unexpected surprise.
Second base, so the Oakland A's take. I'll tell you what, we're having an
Whoa, those noises, Jesus, they sound like metal.
At this moment, a magnitude 6.9 earthquake tears through San Francisco, causing this broadcast to go off air and sending millions into panic.
Emergency Center, what are you reporting? There's a major gas leak on Freedom Boulevard. Okay, where's the leak coming from? Emergency Center, what are you reporting?
Regarding the earthquake, I'm wondering,
do you need police, fire, ambulance, sir? Emergency Center, what are you reporting?
A house on fire.
What's on fire? What's on fire?
A house.
What's the address?
All we know is it's at the end of Comstockville Road, which runs off the
It seemed to come out of nowhere. No warning, no signs, not even a single indication that the lives of millions would be changed in an instant. That day, the San Andreas Fault ruptured, causing a catastrophic earthquake called Loma Prieta. It was evoked by the Pacific Plate pushing vertically up and northwestward for a length of 6 entire feet at the epicenter. And while, on paper, it doesn't sound like a massive number, the damage it left behind spanned in the range of billions.
6 feet sounds pretty crazy, though.
The Nimitz Freeway encountered a total collapse. The San Francisco Bay Bridge split before drivers' eyes, and shopping malls and housing complexes crumbled to ruin.
What the?
We have an unofficial word, or it perhaps is official now. 7 people, we know 7 people have died in this crash, including the one, or in this quake rather, including the one when an old building south of Market collapsed on people in automobiles. And there is one other death too, perhaps one on the Bay Bridge when that section of it collapsed. But here trying to get people out of their homes, some injuries, perhaps just panic as well. And this is awful. If it indeed is the big one that we've heard so much about, and people trying to do whatever they can to stop the fire, but part of the problem, obviously, is gas.
On the Nimitz Freeway, there once stood a section of road called the Cypress Street Viaduct. It was a multi-level concourse, and when it was built, over 160,000 vehicles reportedly passed over it every single day. Because of this section of highway resulted in the most severe casualties in the entire city, 42 out of 63 Loma Prieta deaths happened here, seemingly out of nowhere. Without even a second to react that day, the upper deck collapsed downward, crushing the cars on the lower level and causing a myriad of crashes above them. And the scene it left behind, with people, lives, families, children being helplessly trapped in a predicament like this, is absolutely heartbreaking.
Dude, that's absolutely awful. Also, some of these shit are crazy. Like, look at it. Like, look at this guy.
Is absolutely heartbreaking.
Some people's like back trunk is crushed under. Like,
Breaking.
imagine the driver. Like, Jesus. Ooh, heli. Is it a refueler?
That day, nearly 4,000 landslides, a tsunami, 3,757 injuries, and 63 deaths were caused by this sudden catastrophe. And the most haunting part is, that number paradoxically would have been so much higher were the World Series not happening. Reportedly, rush hour traffic was not nearly as high as normal, since thousands left work early to watch the game at home. Had they been out on the roads instead, like they otherwise would have been, then the outcome of this earthquake may have been even worse than reality. To this day, Loma Prieta stands as the third costliest earthquake in U.S. history, and in its wake are thousands of families that were uprooted forever. While the city has since banded together and rebuilt reinforced structures in preparation for the inevitable next one, the harrowing events that took place back then will undoubtedly live on in infamy. The broadcasts, home videos, and damage reports
Yeah, what if we had a 6.9 to this day, the same place? Would it all resist? Like,
from the incident
all
are
the new
haunting
building codes and shit?
really drive home just how powerful Mother Nature can really be. Whether it's hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, blizzards, what have you, humanity is and always will be at the painful mercy of nature.
Chat, imagine that's 6.9. There's other countries they get like fucking like what, like 9s or something, like 8s or some shit. No, that's like fucking dank.
Are there people in your life that exemplify
Like Asia.
the essence of courage to you? What about for fearful children who just need an extra push? Yeah, don't be afraid. It's gonna be okay. I think it's great.
The night is unremarkable. Jacob and Sarah Henderson have just put down their 5- and 7-year-old daughters to bed. It's quiet. Time to wind down. A night like any other. The family has lived here, nestled in the small town of Maybank, Texas, for years. And while they overall seemed content, Jacob had begun noticing something off.
A tornado?
Sarah, for the past 2 weeks, has been having strange episodes. She seems to be scared of something, like someone stalking her, and it's only getting worse. Out of nowhere, Sarah breaks the silence of this otherwise ordinary night, again freaking out about something inexplicable. And so, worried for his wife and hopeful that the two can get some help, Jacob dials 911, seemingly at his wit's end.
Phone call has been condensed.
CMS, this is Patricia.
Yes, ma'am. I was wondering if I could get somebody to come out here and check my wife out.
Okay, tell me exactly what's going on.
My wife, she's like, I don't know, something's going on with her.
Okay. Can you describe what's going on? The symptoms?
Like she's freaking out, like somebody's out to get her.
Okay, give us just one moment.
But she won't listen to me. You won't talk to me.
Don't hang up. Stay on the line with me, okay?
So,
I'm good. I'm good.
no, you're not.
Yes, I'm okay.
You're not good.
Okay, are you with the patient now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how old is the patient?
29.
Is she awake? Okay, I promise.
Yes, ma'am.
Is she breathing?
Yes, ma'am. She's saying she's all right now. She's saying she's fine now.
Okay, we can still have them come out and check her out, okay? Okay, does she have a weapon?
No, ma'am.
Where is she right now?
Right here in front of me.
I'm sending the paramedics to help you now. Stay on the line. I'll tell you exactly what to do next. If it's safe to do so, observe her continuously. If it's safe to do so, protect her from herself.
Okay.
Okay, give me just a moment.
Okay, well, like I said, she said she's fine now.
Okay, well, they're still on their way, and they can check her out when they get there, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
It's fair enough, huh? I mean, I don't know what the sound is. Maybe it's like, I don't know, it could be anything really. I mean, these fucking phones were dog shit. Maybe the recording cassette tape, probably.
As we could hear, Sarah had a sudden change in demeanor. Whatever strange behavior she was exhibiting before this call had vanished. She was fine, she claimed, and this whole fiasco was nothing but a big misunderstanding. Everything is fine.
This editing, man, I can't.
Jacob jolts awake, and something is wrong. His wife isn't next to him. They're screaming in the next room. And once he comes to and makes his way out into his darkened living room, he's met with a scene straight out of a nightmare.
Oh, I'm not gonna skip. But it's 2 minutes long though, so.
Henderson County 911.
Yes. My wife is shot her kid.
Okay, is this Jacob?
Yes.
Okay, what is your wife's name?
She's trying to commit that now. She's trying to choke herself. Why do you keep grabbing your neck?
What is her name, sir?
Sarah Henderson.
Sarah Henderson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, and how old are the children?
7 and 5.
And they're in the bedroom?
Huh?
Are they in the bedroom, sir?
No, they're in the living room.
They're in the living room and they're not breathing?
No.
Were you home when she did this, or did you just get home?
I was asleep.
You were asleep?
Yes.
And you have the weapon now, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I got it.
Okay.
God forgive me, please.
Are there any other weapons in the house?
Yes.
Okay. Does she have access to them, or are you keeping her from doing that?
No, I'm trying to.
Okay, sir, we do have help on the way, okay? We have An ambulance headed that way as well as officers, okay?
You know, bro should get out of the house though, no?
Okay. Is there anything else you need to...
No.
Okay.
Why did I do that, babe? I don't know.
She's not trying to leave or anything, correct?
What's going on here, Jay? Nothing's going on. That's why I tried telling you. She keeps saying somebody's after her. There's nobody after her. There's nothing. She keeps saying people are coming. There's nobody even here. What? What, babe? Nothing. Nothing. I'm lost, babe.
I'm still here, Jacob, okay?
Yes.
I mean, probably some undiagnosed,
Looks like the officers may
unmedicated,
be
like,
pulling up right now. Do you see him
mental.
outside?
Jamie's not here.
Okay, well, I'll let you go now, okay, so you can open the door.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
A shocking case, a mother in jail right now, accused of killing her 2 young daughters. One little girl was 7, the other just 5. The shooting happened this morning 62 miles southeast of Dallas, outside the town of Payne Springs. Rebecca Lopez is there with details.
That night, Sarah Henderson had taken the lives of her 2 daughters, Kaylee and Kinley, and throughout this call, we can hear her stating things that make no sense at all. She asks her husband why she didn't. She inquires on what's happening. It seems at first that she had no idea what exactly she had just done. Following this call, Sarah Henderson was arrested and charged at the Henderson County Jail with capital murder after confessing to the crime. Because of her erratic behavior, she was placed on suicide watch. However, during her interrogation, she admitted something that gave authorities pause. It's unclear if she ever truly thought that someone was out to get her that night, because as it turned out, she admitted to having premeditated the entire thing. For 2 whole weeks, Sarah had planned to take the lives of her children. Children who were oblivious, who were going to school, playing outside, who had no idea that their lives would end on that fateful night. Since this incident, Jacob Henderson has divorced Sarah, who remains locked away in prison. As it stands, she's set to spend the rest of her life behind bars and has no possibility ever for parole. According to one of their family members, the loss of Kaylee and Kinley will forever pain them, because things like this don't just go away.
Well, I'm so confused though.
These kids loved their mother and likely did until the moment she ripped their lives from them. A loss like this doesn't heal with time, they claimed. Our family is broken.
Sandpaper room. What does that even mean? Yeah, I guess you try to play schizo, but is there no other option? Is there no other recourse? Maybe a family member? Maybe ask your, maybe the husband, yo, can you take care of the kids? I can't do it, whatever. Like,
I'm gonna get you with the Kodak disc. And sure as shooting, I'm not gonna miss. I'm gonna get you with the Kodak disc.
wood chipper, what does that mean?
Reddit.com. A hub where millions congregate.
And lie.
An expanse where you can find community surrounding just about any topic you can think of.
And then they lie about
Creepy games. Things you can just barely remember.
That aren't real.
And even a place to investigate.
And lie.
On the evening of December 9th, 2024, a post would grace the RBI2 subreddit. It comes from a Super Heat Ran 2, and it has a simple backstory. Terrifying film found at a thrift store. I found this film photo at my thrift store inside of an old Kodak carousel box. Alright, so before we continue, I'd like to state that the image accompanying this post is one of the eeriest, most disturbing, and most mysterious photos that I have ever seen. It's something that gave me pause the first time I saw it, because this can't be real, can it? I'm going to have to censor it, but I'm sure you'll get the idea. This is the OP's photo. It depicts a body haphazardly thrown into a corner.
Yeah, there's like parts
It's
everywhere.
such a mess that you can't even make out the position the person is even placed in. Darkened blood covers the floor, the walls, the bed. If this is real, then it's pretty damn convincing. To my eye, we're looking at a murder scene. However, why was this found stuffed within a Kodak box? And what the hell happened here? Hello everyone. Sorry, I'm on my phone. Here's what I did. When I saw the photo, I was curious and pointed into a contrast area to look at it, and my body jolted. I didn't buy the Kodak carousel, I just took the photo and went outside. I went to another store next door and called the non-emergency line describing what I saw and that I felt like it was genuine. They told me they're sending an officer when available. They didn't have an ETA. I'm waiting in my car as of now.
Dude. Oh my god, I found this crazy thing. I'm gonna call the police, run to my car, and immediately post this on Reddit and format the post for people to talk about this shit. Dude, fuck you. Even if it's real, fuck this. Come on, bruh. What is this shit?
As you'd expect, commenters were morbidly intrigued. It was unanimously agreed that calling the cops was the right call. However, some suggested for them to post it in various missing persons subreddits. If this were real, then it just might help in some unsolved case out there. Aside from a few minor interactions on their post, the OP never gave a substantial update again. They handed everything over to the police and abandoned their account, forever leaving this mystery wide open for online speculation. I know it's just a photo, but this is genuinely one of the creepiest that I have ever seen. It's a window into someone's life, and it's enveloped in absolute mystery. To this day, there's been zero movement on this case. No follow-ups from the OP. All we're left with is this intensely disturbing discovery. Completely dead in the water.
Fakest shit of all time.
So, who is this? Who is the body in the photo? To that question,
we may never know.
Okay, bro. Ah, oh, come on, bro. What is the audio of a like a breathing devil dog? What? I don't get it. On a Reddit like troll post.
since November 11th of 2009, and a YouTube channel is born.
Brooding?
It belonged to a 19-year-old man named Nick Stautzenberger, and it had a simple premise. Nick would upload a handful of seemingly random videos, a room tour, random skits, vlogs from his daily life.
There I go, bolting off to answer the phone. Really bad with action poses, as you can tell. Maybe I should have put some action lines like whoosh, 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 but...
Or some arms, buddy.
Interestingly, Nick was an eccentric character. He constantly went on record about how poor his living conditions were, much to his own doing. He would never brush his teeth.
Ew!
He would never shower. He hated his parents, and everything about his life seemed entirely parasitical.
Morris. What? Alright, I'm trying to film the cat. Morris.
Throughout his videos, we would learn that Nick had a half-sister named Amber, someone who he'd play games and have stick fights with. And while it's a bit strange for someone his age to be having stick fights, it would pale in comparison to his online activity
Not
before
true, not
and
true,
after
not true.
this blip in his life.
Yo, buddy. It's siblings and children. Okay, children wants to fucking play make-believe fucking castle fights from the 1400s. Okay, where the person is the king and they're fucking fighting for the throne. Okay, so be it. Okay, I'm doing that, dude. Does that make me weird? No, it doesn't. What the fuck?
A few years prior, Nick would correspond with a girl he met online named Anna. Having connected through a role-playing forum, the two had begun dating in 2006, constantly chatting about their personal lives and engaging in role-playing. Curiously though, as the months went on and Nick's trust in Anna had grown, he would eventually admit something equal parts disgusting
No, not again, man.
and illegal.
Oh god, again. I knew it.
You see, Nick had extremely depraved interests and a self-admitted attraction to children. I can't show you every message here, but on this day, directly to Anna, he admitted to sexually assaulting his half-sister, Amber. Keep in mind that this was the same girl he had stick fights with, the same girl who he can be seen towering over in her birthday video. Nick Stautzenberger is a predator, and his victim was living directly under the same roof as he. After this confession, word spread throughout Nick's circle fast. One by one, his girlfriend Anna and everyone acquainted with him would sever ties from him, and Anna would even hand this chat log to the police.
Well done.
Yet it would, frustratingly, lead nowhere. On his website, called Tales of the Nick, He would chronicle this chapter of his life, along with just about every other thought that's popped into his mind for years. And on a multitude of his journal entries, we can spot him expressing disdain for being ostracized by everyone that knew him. Even so, none of this bothered him more than being cut off by the one person that mattered to him most. And that was Anna. Nick would, over the next few years, begin to mention Anna more and more. In fact, he grew an eerie obsession over her, penning post after post about how she's his wife, how he's holding out hope that the two would get back together, and even going forth to create a blog dedicated specifically to her. Entirely fed up and at her wit's end, Anna would disparage Nick on her own blog in April of 2009, expressing how creepy it is that Nick is going to such intense lengths to dig up her personal information, and how he deserves to have been cut off by everyone online. Even so, Nick not once ever found anything wrong with his behavior. He found nothing wrong with his open attraction towards those that could never give consent. And he found absolutely nothing wrong with what he was doing to his little sister behind closed doors. Effectively, this little girl was trapped, and for a while, it seemed like no one could do a single thing about it.
Is there no conclusion to the story? Is that it?
It wouldn't be until 2015 when authorities would finally give this case the attention it deserves. In April of that year, a report was called in to the Manor Township Police about a sexual assault. Yet this time, it wouldn't be from Anna, but rather from Amber, his half-sister. A girl victimized by Nick for nearly a decade had silently gathered evidence against him. And on April 30th, Nick Stautzenberger would be arrested on 3 counts of indecent assault of a child and 1 count of involuntary deviant intercourse with a child. Reportedly, the situation inside their home was so bad that the assaults date back to when this girl was only 6 years old. In 2016, Nick was convicted and sentenced to 16.5 to 40 years in prison. Since then, he's appealed his sentencing twice, but was denied each time.
Yeah, I mean, thank fuck. The fudge.
The complete and utter rot of one's childhood. That is the only way I can describe the situation that Amber found herself ensnared in. The mental and emotional torments that Nick Stautzenberger unleashed upon her life had decimated what were supposed to be her formative years. And for the rest of her life, she'll have to carry this weight with her.
YouTube guidelines. Yeah, can you get off the screen now? Are we done? Yo, you're putting this weirdo and he's smirking at the camera, dude. He's just staying on the middle of the screen, man.
The World Wide Web is vast, and within its darkest corners awaits some of the most unnerving content out there. Tonight, you and I dove into 5 more disturbing things from around the internet. I hope you all enjoyed this, and if you have any topic submissions, feel free to send them over to my new inbox at submit@nexpo.tv. Once again, that's submit@nexpo.tv. Thank you so much again for watching. I'll see you.
Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and you know, it's not a shock if I tell you can never trust the internet again, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about something that's blowing my mind. Now, remember about like 2 years ago in March of 2023 when a user on Reddit made a Stable Diffusion video of Will Smith eating spaghetti? Now, ladies and gentlemen, just a little over 2 years after that, we have now gotten to a point where entire South Park clips can be AI generated. Just listen to this.
Dude, what the hell is that? It says Waymo.
Waymo? Like some kind of fancy Uber for snobs?
Take me to Casa Bonita.
Navigating to Casa Bonita. Please fasten your seatbelt.
Dude, it's driving itself.
Whoa, buddy. What about Family Guy, ladies and gentlemen? Well, listen to this.
This reminds me of that time I rioted on January 6th. Woo! Let's show them what democracy looks like in cargo shorts. Ow! Fighting in democracy!
You know, man, I feel like we are kind of at a cooked point. You know, a lot of people are wondering, man, what's going to happen to people that work in Hollywood, people that work as animators, musicians, you know, all the creative types. Really, I think all these AIs are coming for your jobs first, ladies and gentlemen, simply because of the fact that, again, you know, if you think that a big animation house, you think if some like Hollywood-like producer isn't going to stop snorting their line of coke and look at this and think, whoa, you're telling me we can save more money and not hire other human beings and do it? Absolutely. But ladies and gentlemen, it's not just about that. It actually gets a little bit more insidious. So for anybody that doesn't understand, this is Sora 2, which is this new AI created by the fellows over at OpenAI. Now, a few days ago, I saw this kind of come out, and it blew my mind away. So I'm going to show you a couple videos from this that absolutely have shown me how far this sort of like AI-generated shit has come about. So immediately I go to their like showcases, and this video is entirely AI-generated of a figure skater. And you know, the only giveaway that I'm seeing over here kind of is, I'm not joking with you, is the actual advertisements that surround, because obviously the text isn't entirely there. But of course you go even further and you can see that some dude is filming his homie doing a backflip on a paddleboard. And you know what, man, like, you know, for somebody like me who has been at the AI stuff from the beginning and just sort of been covering this as it's been happening, even I'm starting to get just a little bit confused at everything that's gone on. But you know, obviously you might be like, well, what have people been generating with this AI stuff, Muta? Well, I'm going to show you something that's going to make a Nintendo lawyer probably have a heart attack.
Pikachu on the grill here. It's already got a beautiful char and it smells like somebody plugged in a chicken. Let's give it a flip. I'm going to carve it into some thick steaks. Look at that. Crust on the outside, pink and juicy in the middle. Cheers.
Yeah, boys, that's Sam Altman, the CEO of fucking OpenAI, cooking up a Pikachu. And you know, honestly, like, you know, going from the Will Smith eating spaghetti test, oh man, we've come a long way. Now, one of my favorite types of content on the internet is just looking up body cam footage. So, you know, you can just look up body cam and there's just tons of channels with hundreds of thousands, millions of views, where again, it's just 30-minute like body cam footages of like cops, you know, either intervening with whatever, or like any type of person. Now, obviously, look, what if you could fake the body cam footage and start making some goofy narratives in today's wild, hypercharged world we live in? Well, it seems you can kind of do that, given the fact that one of the prompts that I saw was live action body cam footage of a police officer confronting Ash Ketchum in an alley for illegal Pokemon fights and cruelty. As Ash suddenly turns and tries to flee, another officer stands nearby carrying Pikachu in a cage. You might be like, whoa, what the fuck could this look like, Muta? Well, I got a 10-second clip right here.
Hands where I can see him, Ash. You're being detained for illegal Pokemon fights and cruelty.
Look, it's not what it looks
Don't
like.
move.
Go. Hey,
stop! He's running! Get back here! Down!
Ow, okay.
Hands behind your back!
Ow, okay.
I've got the Pikachu secured. Hands where I can see.
I swear, I thought Ash was about to pull out a fucking Gawak or something. That cop was about to shoot a child on digital camera. And you know, man, to be real with you, this looks pretty damn convincing. Like, if I saw this, I probably would... Obviously, I know that Pokemon is Pokemon, but I'm starting to look at it from a different angle. Imagine if you just changed the prompt so it looked less goofy, and you actually made it look like a somewhat real showcase of police brutality. I mean, just in the world we live in, imagine faking like a video like that through an AI tool, and then it just going viral for millions of people to see. What is that one saying? Like a lie just instantly gets viewed or something, and like a lie travels around the globe, and the truth is still putting on its shoelaces. That's the freakiest part about it. You know, the internet is already like the current meta on the internet has been for a while, like just rage baiting. But again, it makes me wonder. So obviously here's another examples that look just as good on Sora 2.
Sir, license and registration, please.
I forgot it at home, officer.
Step out of the vehicle.
Hey, stop! Get back here!
I mean...
Vehicle, please.
I forgot it at home, officer.
Step out of the vehicle.
Hey, stop! Get back here!
I mean, how do you... What do you even do at this point, man? I mean, the text makes sense. I guess if you looked at the houses, you know, maybe again you'd start to realize that these don't look like normal homes. But how often is somebody who's scrolling through their like short form feeds actually paying that much close attention? And of course, here's other things where I feel like Nintendo and their lawyers are gonna have a lot of fun, because it's like realistic body cam footage of a police officer pulling over a red Ferrari with a Pikachu driving. Pikachu only says Pika Pika and moves the head in fear. It was a serious offense, so the cop is extremely angry and tries to open the door of the car before Pikachu speeds away quickly. Miami, sunny day, palms. So I guess we'll look at this footage right here. So you got a cop. That's a pretty low Ferrari. Of course, obviously the vehicle handle doesn't look good, but again, if this was not a comical video, somebody might actually sit here and kind of fall for this kind of shit, and that cop is running pretty fast. But anyways, you get what I'm saying here, okay? But of course, the more normal looking one is this, so you can see like a dog is driving on the roads. And again, if you're really looking carefully at this, you might be able to spot the problems, but people can always just use post-processing and like change certain things or degrade the footage. Now look, ladies and gentlemen, you might be like, well, where can I do this? Well, you can get the Sora 2 app on your iPhone, not Android at the moment, and unfortunately I wasn't really into it, nor did I really care so much about playing with it, but I did find it funny when they said something about launching responsibly, concerns about doom scrolling, addiction, isolation, and RL sloptoma. You know what? I'm banning the word slop. I swear, I've never seen a word lose its goddamn meaning so fast. Almost poetic that the word slop loses its meaning that quick. Our top of the mind. Here is what we're doing about it.
is the Cosmodrome.
Я в опасности. Система повреждена.